Hello again all, and welcome back to the chassis variant series as we're with the Mad Dog still, and this is the Charlie variant on a very hot map, which luckily for me doesn't matter because the Mad Dog Charlie configuration is all about Gauss rifles, two of them specifically. And you're going to think of a mech that more specifically and perfectly plays to MechWarrior Online's strengths of high damage alphas, and for a long time dual Gauss was where it was at. And the Mad Dog Charlie seemed like a nice fit. Sadly, it's also a mech that suffers considerably because of its extremely limited loadout, and critically, it's extremely vulnerable to having its arms blown off and thus becoming, well, useless for the conflict ahead. So, it was a configuration that was built purely for the support role, with every other weapon torn out to put in the two Gauss rifles, which, again, this is one of those things where there's a huge difference between tabletop and the realities of a fast-paced, one-to-one, live-action BattleTech game, so to speak. So, tabletop is one of those situations where you know how you're going to do it, you know the hex range, the die rolls you're going to have to get, and the skills and everything, but the payoff is going to be an incredible amount of damage if you roll the dice and they're on your side. And in MechWarrior Online, dual Gauss is a very powerful combination, but it doesn't really help on the map setups because obviously, due to a lot of changes, quirks increasing range of weaponry, skills increasing the overall range of weaponry, the map size itself, it means there's a lot of situations where a mech like this just really doesn't work unless it's in the support role of a team that's basically just crushing everything, which is pretty much what happened here on Terra Firma. It was one of those perfect matches for a build like this, and there was not a lot I could do for most of it because you're just waiting for your opportunity to step out and hit a target and back up if it looks in your direction, and if not, just step out again and shoot his ass a few more times because you're not generating the heat. But there are many drawbacks of the Charlie version, and it's probably one that I wouldn't recommend actually. It's the only MC version of the mech that comes with two ballistics hardpoints, but that's it. It's got no other options available for it. One ballistic in the left, one ballistic in the right, and you can, if you buy the bandit hero, you get a two ballistic Vulture anyway that comes with the hardpoints. So that's its one unique selling point already gone there. Outside of that, it's not really cooked out for anything particular. There are other clan mechs that do the job of a dual Gauss carrier much better. Ammunition is a problem. I have 40 shots at the beginning of this, so I've not got a hell of a lot of ammunition. I'm not going to be able to fire for a long time, which means instead of being the mech that hits a target and strips armor, you're actually the mech that's waiting for someone to already be opened up for you to capitalize on that, which again isn't great in MechWarrior Online because you want to be able to do that high damage very quickly to knock out components or open up a mech and kill it quick, and sadly that's not what this does. So for that reason I couldn't really recommend the Charlie configuration. It's a bit of an odd one within the Mad Dog menagerie, so to speak, because there's lots of versions of the mech, and some of them didn't make it into MechWarrior Online for whatever reason PGI decided. But to give you an idea, there's the Alpha, the Bravo, Charlie, and Hotel that are available alongside the Prime, whereas in BattleTech's history you've got the Delta, the Echo, the Foxtrot, the Golf, and the Underwater U version, which we're never going to bother with that. So yeah, there's a lot that never made it in, and this was one of the weird standouts, I guess, just to give you something completely different, and probably one of those things for GMs to be able to catch out a party by having it's a Mad Dog, oh shit, it's firing Gauss rifles. In MechWarrior Online, Gauss rifles being equipped on mechs is, it is not shocking, and it's not that uncommon to have that kind of ballistics loadout on assault mechs or heavies anyway. So yeah, it's okay. It's not great. It's a pure support build. Sure, you could drop it so it maybe ran ultra ACs instead, which would probably make it a bit more viable, like dual UAC 10s. But it's very, very limited in its capability. And again, the missile energy builds of this mech just work so much better, and there are other ballistics clan heavies out there that just do a better job. So yeah, I'd give this one a miss. The match itself, as I said earlier, was a bit of a crushing defeat for the enemy team. Just mechs that couldn't step out without being shot. I kind of felt bad for them, especially the Timberwolves and the King Crab at the end. They just didn't really have a good time with it, unfortunately. It was one of those matches where it just felt like you were just adding on to someone else's misery. I imagine sometimes matches like this is the kind of thing that pushes people to saying something that they'll regret online after the fact, or they get, you know, they leave the game for a while, that kind of thing. That's one of the big problems I always have with some multiplayer games. When it's so one-sided like this, you can see why people would stop playing, because there's no fun being on that losing team, and it can happen to people regularly in a long string of matches, because it's not unheard of to have people who lose matches like 15 matches in a row just to get one win. And that's what one of these felt like. It wasn't a challenge, it was just picking on people who were already lost. So yeah, felt a bit bad about this one. But that was the footage I got, you know. So that's the Mad Dog Charlie. Not one I'd recommend, but certainly a little different within the lineup. So thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you have a good week, and we'll see you all next time. Bye bye.
Target destroyed.